Hey everybody, this is Matt with Lasso Procurement. In our last video, we set up our Buyer Pro account and we sent that purchase order to the supplier. So now in this demonstration, we're going to go log into our supplier account and we're going to go review the contract that was just sent to us and accept it, update the work order status and see how that's going to then be available to view from the buyer. So I'm going to log into the supplier. So right now I'm the supplier. I am logging in and I've got my profile right here. I'm going to open the application. I'm going to go and remember I'm the supplier right now, so there's not going to be anything under procurement unless I, set something up in a different workflow. But right now I'm going to go under sales and I've got my opportunities right here. And then I'm going to go under work orders. And right now I can see that new purchase order that my customer just sent me and I have the opportunity. So PO acceptance, I've got no response right here, but I can either accept or reject that. And so I can expand and see all of the line items available here. So I can see that it was exactly as it was in the RFQ with the parts, the quantity, and the description. If I want to go ahead and click on that purchase order, I can, as the supplier, go through and see the copy of that. I can see the unit price, extended price, total PO value, and all of the other additional notes that were provided to me by the buyer. And I can go through. I'll hit accept, and I'll submit that. And you'll see that a work order has been created for me. And I can go into this work order. And here I have the opportunity to, so now that this is, an in-process build or something that I'm currently working on to fulfill this contract. And so I've got, by default, what the buyer estimated. So I've got my contract completion date, the buyer requested completion date, and then the supplier estimated completion date. And so the idea here is if the buyer requests, for instance, for this to be delivered a few weeks early, I can log this. I can log this in here, and I'll go ahead and save that. And similarly with this other line item, so the buyer, this would be if the buyer requested, so I said in the quote that I couldn't get these line items in by before November, but I could do best effort, and so to get to what the buyer is hoping that they need this for, and I'm going to go ahead and save that, and likewise, if I'm actually able to estimate this as coming in as a different date from what the contract date is, I can go ahead and update that. So again, that might be a scenario where that might be useful is if my initial contract date was at a set lead time and I'm able to commit to this November 12th date contractually, but I know that my customer would like it a little earlier, so I'm going to try as the supplier, do my best effort to bring it in earlier, and then I'm going to communicate. I can communicate to my buyer through this field here that I'm trying for October 28th, but estimated I'm still able to get it in a few days early from the November 12th. I'm actually able to get it into November 15th, so I'm going to go ahead and update that. And my buyer will be able to see all of this information. So, okay, brought date in 1 week. So all of these notes are going to be available to the buyer right now, and so you can see just with this work order right here, I can update all of that information, and I can do that one of two ways. I can do that through on my work order tab. I can do that through going to the work order detail, or I can actually just do that on the front page here in this work order tab. I can go through and update all these dates, save it, and it'll, in the same exact way, it'll be up. It will update my customer. And so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do now. I'm going to log out of the buyer and of the supplier, and I'm going to go back to my buyer account and see that all of these that these line items have been updated with the latest status on when we're expecting them to be delivered. And so I'm going to go in under my contracts tab, and I can see that in the what my supplier just updated. So in what the buyer requested, October 28th, and the buyer estimated November 5th, and I can see that that the notes were added in as well right here. So so in so that what I just showed is to how the supplier can go in, accept the contract, it'll create a work order, and then they can update status on their work order, and that'll be reflected back to communicate directly back to the buyer, and the buyer can conveniently have it available right here in their contracts tab. So anytime they want to have get a status update of their contract, they can see that it was accepted and in work, and they can get the latest status provided from their provided from the supplier, along with the last time that it was updated and any notes as well. So in the next video, we're gonna cover the change order process. So if they're, like I mentioned, if either the buyer and the supplier can't agree to a contract change, in this particular case, if there is a case where they can agree to a contract change, I'm going to go through requesting and approving a contract change order.